Let's learn the correct hand positioning for performing permanent makeup treatments. The three fingers that I use during tattooing are your pointer finger, your middle finger, and your thumb. Your wrist must be relaxed and it should be resting on a point of your pinky. So you don't use the whole surface of your pinky, you use a little bit on a side like this. There must be a gap between your wrist and the working surface. So this gap here. If you lay your wrist on a surface like this, it will be really uncomfortable to move. So make sure you have a gap between your wrist and the surface. Your tattoo machine must be 90-degree angle to your working surface. So not like this, not like that, or not like that. 90 degrees to your working surface. It is a little bit different from how we hold the pen when writing. So when we write, we tend to have our wrist line like this. And our pen is usually at the angle. But with tattooing, we need to make sure that our machine is 90 degrees to the skin and we have a good range of movement, which is achieved by pressing on your pinky and having this gap here. When working, your hand must be relaxed. Your thumb is relaxed and it should not be pressing on the machine. It must be just wrapped around the machine gently to support it. So you can see, if I take my thumb off, my machine is still in the same position. It's not falling away. So when you hold your machine, you have your pointer finger just at the bottom of your machine, pretty much touching the top of your cartridge here. Then your pointer finger is at the very bottom of the machine. So the bottom of your machine is pretty much resting on your middle finger. And your thumb is just there, supporting the machine. When you shade, you don't use the whole wrist. So if it's not correct to do this movement because you will rip the skin and also your wrist will get really tight. When shading, you should only be using your two fingers, which is the index finger and your middle finger. So you would be pushing your middle finger towards you and then the machine goes this way. And then you move your middle finger away from you, pushing the machine away from you. And this is how you shade. You only use these two fingers and the rest of your hand and our fingers stay still and relaxed. So, machine, 90 degrees to the skin, resting on your pinky slightly sideways, a gap between the surface and the wrist, index finger in the bottom, slightly touching the cartridge, your middle finger is where your machine bottom is resting, and your thumb is just wrapping the machine around. And you're moving your two fingers, index and middle, to shade.